Ancestry.com is one of the largest databases in existence for genealogy research. I specifically like this website because it contains billions of records from around the world. One downfall to Ancestry.com, though, is it is a paid subscription database. I personally think it is worth the money because I have been doing research for 20 years and I am willing to spend a little bit more money to access records from around the world that I would normally not be able to access. When you first open the page to Ancestry.com, you will see an introduction and it will ask you to sign in and start your free trial. I do not recommend you doing this until you have done a little bit of a search to see exactly what records are available for your specific search and if it's going to be worth the amount that you spend to use this subscription database. In order to do that, let's get started and start with getting through the first few steps. You're going to go to the left-hand corner and click on Search and then All Collections. You are probably overwhelmed with the amount of things that you can search just by glancing at the page that opens. You are probably overwhelmed with the amount of things that you can search in the categories just by glancing at the page that opened in front of you. I like how you can have an option of what you want to fill in and what you don't want to fill in. Some people just start with the names, first and last name, and where they may have lived. Others include all the information that they possibly have on a person, which can kind of bog the system up, I guess you could say, with it may result in not enough records. But if, on the flip side, if you put in too much, if you don't put in enough information, you're going to have thousands of records to go through. So let's go ahead and start with a record search of a family member of mine and see what kind of results we come up with. So we are going to use my grandfather's name and see what he has in records located at Ancestry.com. So I know his name was Ray Earl, and I know his last name was Wallace. So we're going to leave the exacts there. I know he may have been born in Iowa. I'm not sure, but we will see. So Iowa. We are going to leave the exact 2 completely empty. We're not going to pick that. A couple other things I know about him is his father's name was Alex, or Alexander Wallace. And I know his wife's name was Evelyn Hope Seymour. So let us do a search on that. That's all the information I'm going to put in. Because like I said, if you bog it down too much, with too much information, you may not get enough results to be productive. Okay, so we come up with 6,934 results for Ray Earl Wallace. And the tree that belongs to L. Jones family tree has Evelyn as his Ray's spouse. So any information that kind of helps me when I'm looking at a family tree, maybe they are a direct relative. I don't know yet. So that's a possible lead. When doing research, you want to make sure you follow and make note of any possible lead that can help you along your journey. So by looking at the birth information, it says 1889, so he would have been old enough for World War I and World War II. Actually, he might have been too old for World War II, but he may have been required to register for that. So we see that he has a World War II draft registration and a World War I draft registration. And this is the information that is shown on that registration, which is helpful because if you know a household member, if you know the household members and they're not listed on here, then maybe that's not the right Ray Earl you were looking for. So as you notice, down here they have a little thing that says sign up. That is Ancestry's way of reminding you to sign up and trying to convince you to sign up for their subscription databases. Ancestry offers 3 subscriptions mainly. So they offer U.S., which is going to be just the United States records. Then they offer World, and that's going to be around the world. And then they offer All Access, which also includes your United States, around the world records, plus military records at bold3.com and newspaper articles at newspapers.com. If you choose to join Ancestry, I would suggest you do the All Access, because if you know your family came from overseas, which almost everybody has some family member way back that immigrated to the United States, they're going to want to know when and where and how they got over here. So that helps out. The one nice thing about Ancestry, though, is if you decide that Ancestry is not what you were looking for and you have no use for it, you can possibly get a partial refund of your unused subscription and go from there. But please take advantage of the free 14-day trial. And when I say that, you can sign up for 14 days free. As long as you go in and cancel before your 14 days, you will not be charged for a subscription, and you have 14 days of research completed. So now we're going to go back to the beginning page, and we're going to let you start on your own search. And just remember to include what you know, and start with that and work your way back over the generations. So you start with yourself and your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents. And by then, you're going to have so much information you're going to be overwhelmed. So, like I said, make sure you begin with what you know and work back from there. And good luck.